everybody, and welcome to It's a Kind of Magic, the show about magic and magical people. My name is Regardt Laubscher. I'm your host and also a magician. And wow, it's the first episode of the series. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the journey with us where we perform magic, meet magical guests, and also pay tribute to magicians from across the world, magicians from the past, and magicians in the present. Now, when you think about magicians, you always think about hats and cards. Now, I have a card trick I would quickly like to show you guys. You'll see that these cards are slightly bigger just because my hands are so small. And thinking about hands and feet, do you guys know that they say athletes get athlete's foot? So what do astronauts get? Mistletoe. So if we take the cards, we squeeze it, you'll see they're a little bit smaller, slightly smaller now. For comparison, let's just take one of these cards and you'll see, should we do it again? Fine, why not? What we'll do is we'll just put them in the hand and I'll squeeze them again. And you'll see that the cards are now a little bit smaller. Let's just fan them quickly, just like that. Wow, it's almost real magic. Let's do it again. We'll squeeze it a little bit more. And how about we'll take out some of these cards and we'll fan them, and they are even smaller. I mean, this is really magical. Fine, let's do it again. This time I'll do it in slow motion. Try and catch me out now. We'll just squeeze it, and you'll see, they are really, really small. Let's get some more cards out there, small cards. Now for the real convincer and the real magical part. And I'll try and do this very slow. I'll place it in my hands. I'll drop it in the left hand, just like this. We'll take out one of the cards. We'll wave it. And we'll blow. And something really magical happened. The cards completely disappeared. It's time for our magical guest to join us today. His name is Leigh the Mime. He had a few obstacles arriving here today. Let's see if he made it. Right, guys, Mr. Leigh Collins, he made it. Welcome.
Thank you, Regardt.
Good evening, good to see you again. I must say, I've known you for, and we spoke about this off air, is it 10, 12 years or so?
Yes, I think it's about 12 years. Yeah, it's before 2010, before the World Cup.
Yes, before the, that's a good landmark. Of course, I must say, guys, that we've spent many hours on the road, on a plane. We even, and I'm gonna mention this to you now because later on you can just say thank you again. We even shared a hotel room once and we had to share a bed. But luckily I slept on the floor. So later on you can say thank you again for that.
Can I say it now? Then I can say
go for it.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. So what we saw here now, it's obviously, can we call that mime, or is it miming, the art of miming, or yeah?
Yeah, I like to call it the art of mime. Yeah, it's a wonderful art form. It's often, you see, the thing with movement is it's often misunderstood, but it is a language, like we're speaking English here.
Yeah.
But it's a language, and you have to be very clear with it. So I love to call it mime. Yeah,
the art of mime, which is nice because you can do this in any country.
That's right.
It's almost like magic. It's universal.
That's right.
And then so
It's strange for me to have a microphone on.
Yeah, normally you leave me quite speechless, but I'm very impressed with you this evening. So the guy that we see in the shopping mall with the white face, when you pass him, he walks with you, and which I very much enjoy, but that isn't what mime is all about. There's so much more.
Yeah, that's more. The art school in Paris started with that. The mimes were looking for some way of making money, extra money, while they were studying. And that is how they got involved. And they just interacted with people, and people gave them money into a hat. And but it is a nice way, because it's you have to improvise all the time. So it's really every moment is improvisation, really. So it's you have to be sharp when it comes to that. But mime is actually an art form that Marcel really made famous on stage.
He's from where? Which country is he from? From Paris.
Yeah, well, Paris is not a country, you know that?
Yeah, Paris is. Thank you.
France.
The show is educational as well, as you can hear. Thank you. So let's before we talk about a little bit more about miming as such, let's take it a step back. When did you start? When you were in primary school or high school, or even much later? Were you a late starter?
I was a late starter. My two brothers did mime classes. The one I did fits and stuff.
Okay.
I always watched them, but I never got the classes. You know, I was too young for it, and the teacher stopped with the classes.
What age were you then, by that stage?
Just like it. Let me just see. I was probably grade 2, grade 3. It was standard 1 or
grade 2
is
sub B. Okay.
Yeah, and so I saw that. I was inspired by it, but I never got the classes. But I always wanted to walk like Charlie Chaplin, or like they call it in the Western Cape here, Charlie Chaplin.
And yes, we've heard that before. And I think his birthday is on my birthday, 16th of April. Yeah, I know. So I could be a Charlie. No, rather not.
So then I started walking like Charlie Chaplin. I tried many ways. Could do the jump. And it was,
really?
And then, you know, if you have a desire for something, it creates a vacuum that gets filled. And a lot of things happened along the way where I was introduced to many mime artists, and I can tell you about that.
Yeah. So it was your brothers who actually inspired you.
And then there was
older
girl
brothers,
as well.
a girl as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her name is Yolanda, and she inspired me as well.
But my question is, Vina, between you and your two brothers, who's the best mime now, currently? You've got a bit more experience, I would say.
As a mime artist, I have to zip. I might expose someone.
Now, why I'm asking is, I've seen your brother. We've used him for events as well, and he's not too bad.
He's the funniest guy I know, man.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a funny guy, but his movement comedy is really funny.
Okay. So this was in primary school when you started to move like Charlie Chaplin and do the jump, and then in high school, did you continue with?
I saw my brother again on stage, and just a love for stage was birthed, and but only later in my life. I think it's 1997.
Sure.
When I really started with the mime, I did a few classes in Israel. I did classes with a guy that was trained by Marcel Todd Farley. So very technical, very stylized. And then there was another guy that came from Switzerland. His name is Suru Blatter.
Sure. Can you spell it?
I can spell it, but I don't know where all the.
But you're a mime, so you don't need to spell it.
Fantastic. Thank you for helping.
Pleasure.
Yeah. I did workshops with there, and I had already started a mime school by then. And he
Great.
took some of my students, and they performed overseas in Switzerland. So I've been exposed to different styles of mime, where Marcel Masseau's style is very classical. Suru Blatter's was trained by the guy that broke away from Marcel Masseau, and is more like a contemporary sort of feel. If you think of movement, contemporary dance, that sort of feel.
And we can bleep out your age if you want to, but how old were you when you peaked in a way, when you started performing more regular, obviously many years after high school, like you mentioned now?
It's very difficult for a short guy to peak, So
You can't bring your own jokes along, yeah.
I would say the last, I think the last 4 or 5 years I really peaked. I think,
Fantastic.
you know, working
Yes,
with you,
yes.
it's been an incredible time. It's been
Yeah.
fascinating.
What is actually amazing is the different characters you can develop just by picking up a prop and doing something different. If you pick up a paintbrush, then you're a character, and if you pick up a hat, then you're a different character as well, which is fascinating because it's different movements, you know, that you need. So is there specific character? What characters can you do for those of us who don't know?
I think just the French mime one. Then I have different characters. Characters. I do Charlie Chaplin.
Is he your favorite?
Nah.
Or one of the favorites?
You know, lately I've been exploring with clowning as well. So there's quite a few things.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there because that's interesting. Clowning and miming.
Yes.
Because for most
I'll
people,
tell you why.
it's the same thing, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Definitely not.
You see, the mime it's almost like you're watching a movie.
Okay?
And it's the mime artist is there, and he's portraying, he's creating an illusion of a story.
Okay.
Where a clown breaks that fourth wall that is between the audience and the performer.
Okay.
So, and I started exploring with that when I was miming, to try and break that wall, but it's difficult. With clowning, it's a lot easier, and you can interact and you can break through that wall. It's an imaginary wall that's there.
Yes.
But then you can interact with the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a sort of a juggling balloon type of clown. I'm more a theatre clown.
Okay.
So that's why the mime training was very important, because I can hold an audience without little gimmicks. I'm not saying it's a gimmick, but it's...
I understand what you say.
But you have to keep them engaged all the time.
Yes. So when you look at performing for people, and the reason I'm asking this, being a magician, if I perform different ages, different races, and in this beautiful country that we've got, do you find that certain races, they prefer to see different things and they react differently? Or do you find that it's mime is one size fits all? And this can count for any other country in the world as well.
Yes. One of the greatest moments performing, we were in Alexander Bay.
Okay.
And it was for the Khoisan people. They were giving land back to them, and
That's amazing.
It was, when we walked out, it was like electricity that was in there.
Really?
And it was a fantastic time. There was such a great response, and some cultures respond differently.
Yeah.
Some cultures are very, others are really, they get drawn to it. Some really laugh out loud, and some, so every culture has a different response, obviously.
Fantastic. All right.
It's actually a phenomenon. So you need to be aware of what to do with what culture as well.
So I can see you know what you're talking about. You're passionate about what you're talking.
Yes, I am.
And I've been working with you for a while. I know that you are extremely interactive and you can observe when you do certain things. But I have a challenge for you. So we're going to move over in a moment towards the performing side of the studio. And I'm going to challenge you. So obviously you're going to put on your makeup again then, because then you're in performance mode.
I'm not going to say a word then, though, eh?
No, you will have to leave me speechless again, like the movie about the mime. I haven't heard about it. But we have a tradition on the show.
Yeah.
You're going to be the first person now to write just something in our book, just so that we can remember we had a wonderful mime here.
The first guy.
The first guy, you are allowed to, your name, your bank pin, anything you can put on there.
Can I draw you or not?
You can do whatever you want to. And
Can I do the whole page, just one piece?
Just a little section, because us, yeah.
I like covering the whole book, man.
These mimes, yeah. And then while you're quickly doing that, tell me where can we reach you? Social media?
Yeah, social media. I perform as Leigh the Mime.
Leigh the Mime.
So Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
Great.
Leigh the Mime at live.com.
Leigh the Mime at live.com.
Oh,
now you guys know why he's busy doing that. If you ever need a mime, Leigh is the best in the business. I can really recommend him. And he's got a friend, he's an awesome magician as well. They work together quite nice. And then, thank you, Leigh. Right.
Oh, man.
Let's do the challenge. I hope you're ready.
Yes, I am.
Great.
Yes.
Let's do it. So I have a challenge for Leigh the Mime. As you can see, he's definitely not ready for the challenge. Are you ready? Am I boring you? Okay, so as you guys can see over here, I have an invisible bag. You can just pick up the bag if you don't mind. Just right over here. And inside the bag, I have a few things for him. He hasn't seen them before. Well, at this stage, no one has seen them before. I'm going to ask him to remove something out the bag, and I need to guess what it is. All right, so here we go. Leigh, I want you to take out something. Let's say I'm getting hungry. Something that I can eat. And obviously try and guess what it is. Leigh, go for it. Okay, that's okay, yes. Oh, that's easy, man. It's an apple. Thumbs up, is it an apple? Yes! Can I get that apple, please? Thank you. I'll just keep it near man. Sis. No, yeah, you can keep it. Put it in your pocket. I don't want it now, thanks. Okay, that's okay. Alright. Challenge number 2. I'm thirsty. Leigh, something to drink. Something that goes with the apple. Okay, I can see it's a bottle here. Obvious. Okay, it's not a bottle. Okay, I can see it's not a bottle. And, okay, that's a straw. You're drinking something. Okay, I know what it is. It's cool drink. It's not a Coke. It's a Coke Light. You see? And now, it's a Coke Zero. Okay, last one. No, never mind. Last one. I want you to give me something. I don't want to eat something or drink something. Something like a physical something. I'm not. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe something that's big in stature. I don't want something small. Okay, go for it. What's... Okay. It's an aeroplane? No, it's not an aeroplane. Oh, you're getting over something? It's a ladder. Is it family? Because then it would be a step ladder. Okay. Can I have it, please? Thank you. Just mind the bag there. There we go. It's a... What must I do with this now? You know what? I think you can have the ladder, and then you can there. Thank you. You can maybe go and give it to someone who can really make use of it. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, guys. That was Leigh the Mime. Awesome stuff. I hope you really enjoyed that. I think it's time we do some more magic. So to end off each program, I would like to pay tribute to magicians. Now, one of my favorite magicians, and I've never met him, but his name is Tommy Cooper. He sadly passed away in 1984, the year I was born, but he died on stage while performing, and he had a heart attack. Now, obviously, I never knew him, but I thought him being a very funny character, that is the way he would like to pass. So I have a trick here that he used to perform. The first time I saw anyone performing this trick was when he did that, obviously, via television. I have 2 handkerchiefs inside the can. I have a white handkerchief dyed black, yes, and a black handkerchief dyed white. I'm going to try and change this white handkerchief dyed black into a white handkerchief, and the black handkerchief dyed white into a white handkerchief, or black. It's so difficult to do this trick, so watch here. We'll drop it in the can, I'll snap my fingers, and you'll now see that the white handkerchief is now changed into a black handkerchief, and the black handkerchief is now changed into a white handkerchief, and the crowd goes wild. No, they're not going wild. Okay, fine, let me do it again. Now remember, this trick, what makes it so difficult is that there is no trapdoors, no mirrors, no smoke. I'll prove it to you. When I turn the can around, you'll see nothing on that side, no trapdoors. At the bottom, there's nothing over there as well. But the cool thing for me is that the white spots actually disappeared. I know about the handkerchief still, because you'll realize that the white dots are actually on the black handkerchief. But don't forget about the white handkerchief. It's got some black spots on there as well. Oh, you know how it works? No, there's nothing really inside there. See, if I do it like this, there's nothing else inside the black can. And that is some real magic. Right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week on It's a Kind of Magic.